Hey guys, my name's Riley, and you can see I have my saddle out, and that's because we are doing a tack haul. Now this is the saddle that I got, I think it was last year, off of Facebook Marketplace. This is my hunt saddle, but I have something to show off on it in a little bit, so I'll show you that then. Otherwise, let's get started right away, and I'll show you some of the stuff that we're not sure if we're actually going to keep, depending on if somebody's actually going to use it or if it's going to fit the horses. So first thing I'll show you is we got this saddle, which is a cutback saddle used for like saddle seat. That was one of the first things we got, and it was really cheap. They just kind of wanted it gone. It seems like it's in okay condition. It needs a good cleaning, but other than that, everything on it seems okay. I'll show you this little thing. We actually got this for free. Another lady who said that she was just kind of carrying it around for the last 2 years and wanted it gone, so just in a little free bucket. And then we got a ton of show clothes. So we have this pretty orange shirt, which I'm pretty sure is too small for me, but we have some horseless horse kids that are going to be showing this year, or younger kids that will be showing, not necessarily in 4-H, but just around at local shows. And these all came from the same person that had the saddle. So everything was pretty cheaply priced, and there's a couple others here. This is a full saddle seat outfit, jacket, vest, and pants. Okay, and then just a blue slinky shirt, and then same thing but in red. So it's pinching my finger. And then this pretty blue one, which, like I said, they're all a little smaller, so they won't fit me, but we have some of those horseless horse kids that will hope maybe be using those. We like to keep a couple of smaller things when we have smaller kids that are going to be showing. These were a pretty good deal, so we are planning on keeping all this, but these are grooming boxes that are just full of brushes and combs and all that kind of stuff, hoof picks, shedders, different curries, so just a ton of different stuff. There's this cute hoof pick that has a horse on it, so all different brushes and whatnot, and there are 2 of those containers. This is a bath brush. It has a sponge in there. And Mom wanted this one for this. It's kind of like a shedding blade kind of thing. And then there's also these boots, which we don't use these boots too much, but good deal on those, so we got those. And then there's a couple of combs in here. There's another plastic comb and another metal comb in here as well, so there's 2 of each of those. The other plastic one is blue. And this is a foldable hoof pick, so I'll have to see if I can get that to fold in. And then there's these gloves, which are fingerless gloves that have just a thinner glove underneath, which I love those gloves, so definitely going to use those. Next we'll do these boots. So these were in a free bucket. They had another pair or 2 in there as well, so we grabbed those. They are a little big for me, but some of the girls, or the girls that are going to be showing, I think at least one of them has bigger feet than I do, so that'll help to make sure we have boots for her. And then we got this 4-H bag. Since we're so involved with 4-H, if I see a 4-H bag or somebody says they'll give it to me for free for being involved in 4-H, I always grab them, and I always end up using them for stuff, or if the kids need to use them for something, we have it for that as well. And then we got this big pile of books. 2 different people have books, and then there was another person that had books that we forgot to go back to, but we have a horse business book, the instructor's handbook, teaching children to ride, which we might already have this one. I'd like to someday do lessons, and I might do more like adult lessons or like older kids, but beginner lessons. And then advanced Western riding, and then This is Riding for Kids, which I did read through it. We were going to have one of the girls read it, but it's very focused on jumping, and all these books are a little older, so I don't think we're going to have her read that one, but we have a lot of other books that she can read. And then this trick book. So we might teach Albie how to do some of those tricks. We started Liberty with him, and he's really liking that and doing really well, so we'll see what we end up doing for tricks. Next, we have this pair of half jacks. It was like, I think we paid like $1 for them. The same people that had some of these books and the containers of brushes. They just had a ton of stuff that they just wanted gone, so we ended up with some nice half chaps. Originally we thought they'd fit Mom, but they're too small for her, but they do fit me, so we're gonna hold on to them so that I can use them, or even the 4-H kids can use them. And this is kind of like a cooler quarter sheet kind of thing. We have a big issue with Albie. He gets very sweaty very quickly, which does not work when it drops overnight. So if it's like 30, maybe 40 degrees, he gets really sweaty, and you're not supposed to leave a horse sweaty if it's under, I think it's like 30 degrees. So just kind of dealing with that, figuring it out as we go. If he keeps it up in future years, we'll probably end up doing at least some type of body clipping and then blanket him. And then we also got this cooler. They had it as a horse anti-sweat sheet, so we have that one to try on him too, which is more of an actual like blanket type. And then I don't know if I've talked about it too much, but we have a huge dust issue in the barn that we're still trying to figure out. It's pretty bad, especially in the winter, since we can't open the big doors to get the air in and out. Maybe eventually we'll put more windows in or whatnot to help with airflow, but until then we are working on covering and bagging things. So this is a bridle bag, and it has Velcro at the top. We have another one that Flash's stuff is in, which I might switch to have Albie's stuff in it because Albie doesn't have a ton yet. But it has the Velcro, but then it has buckles at the top, which this one is only the Velcro straps, because with Flash's, with the buckles, we lost all the buckles. So right now I just have baling twine that's holding everything in. So we got that for a good deal. And then I think this was in like $1 bucket. Just a big hay net. So excited for that one. Flash, or it's a bag, but Flash likes this kind much more than the nets or the slow feeds or anything. So those are always good for him for shows. This is another thing I don't know that we're keeping. It's just a pink fly sheet. It is a 75, which I don't think fits either of our boys, but we have to measure to find out. And then I got this saddle cover. This is like the one we have on Flash's saddle. It's a tough one, Western saddle cover. Just sits on top, and the horn goes through there, and it helps to keep the dust off and the saddle cleaner. Other saddle cover we got is this rain sheet for the saddle, which I think is going to be the one that I'm going to put on Albie's saddle for now, just because I think it'll keep the dust off a little bit better. And Albie has a leather Western saddle, whereas Flash has a synthetic Western saddle. And then we got these hooks. Grab them quick. They're the longer hanging hooks. So we have one that we used to use when we had a mini for Lake County Fair, so we could have our buckets lower without having them on the ground, which I still think we ended up having them on the ground because she was so little. But just some longer hooks to hang stuff off of the wall so that, you know, they're not super high, but they're also not super low either. We're still working on getting hooks and whatnot all up to figure out where we want everything. And then we got this tail bag. I'm doing lime green with Albie, so we found that for a good deal. So we ended up grabbing that, and we are going to try and use it. It took us a little while to figure this kind out when we first had them. So you braid them. So you put your hand in one side. Easiest if you go from the bottom to the top. and then you grab their hair in 1/3 and you pull that third through, and you do that for all 3 sections, and then you just braid it down. So I was excited that we found that, and in his color. I'm finding that it's a little hard to find lime green in our area. And then we have these 2, which are helmet bags, which I brought my helmet in to show these right away. Now, we haven't used a helmet bag before. We have a cover, but we haven't used a bag. So we'll see how this goes. It'll take a little while for us to figure it out, but as long as it's in there, that is going to help with keeping the dust off. So we have 2 of those, one for my helmet, one for Mom's helmet, and then we're gonna have a chest for all of our extra helmets that's in the garage that we have to get moved to the barn for all those extra helmets for all the kids and whatnot. Back over here. Just a few more things that we bought. One of the other first things that we got when we were there were these boots, which they kept the tag, but these are air yachts. It was a better deal for air yachts, and they fit Mom really well, and we both loved them. So since they fit her, she wanted to get those for her. And then these 2 things are from a business that was started by some people that I used to show with in 4-H, but we ended up getting this head stall, which is unfortunately too small for both of the boys. So I did contact them, and they do return, so we're gonna return it. If there's a way that they can order one that has either a longer crown piece or longer cheek pieces that will fit the boys, we'll consider doing that, but for now we're just gonna return that since it doesn't fit either of them, because they both have giant heads. And then we got these treats through them as well. We haven't opened them yet, so we'll try them at some point. They did cost a little bit, so we're gonna keep them as kind of like our more special treats for the boys, and then we have some generic From and Fleet treats that we've been giving them. And then this is another one that just picked up. This is a pet bakery, so they sell dog treats, and these are their smaller training treats, which we had gotten for my grandma's dog, but they have peanut butter in them, and he doesn't like peanut butter, so he wouldn't even take them. So we're going to keep them at the house for when we have doggies come to visit, because we have a couple of people who have dogs. But those are their little training size treats. They're just little, and so they are pretty good. Nice cute little bag. And then we also got, where to set this, because I don't want it to get dirty. There we go. This bag is ours, but inside we have breeches, and we have these 2 black pairs. Trying to tell that there's 2 there, but 2 black pairs, and then a bunch of different kind of burgundy pairs. I think there's 4 or 5 of those pairs, and they're all different sizes. Some that we think are going to fit me that I'm going to try on, and then some for the Horseless Horse kids, and then anything that we don't think we need to keep we'll probably end up selling. But I think most of those are going to end up being keeps. I think that's everything that we bought while we were there, or picked up while we were there. Just move that back over there. And then the last couple of things that have to do with my saddle and whatnot that we got are my High Point awards from one of the clubs I was in last year. So I got a bucket that has this on here, which is halter High Point, which we didn't do a lot of halter, so I don't know how we ended up with halter High Point, but in here there's some sponges, which I'm going to be using in a minute here to clean some saddles and whatnot. This little bag of treats, which we don't usually use these treats. We do have a big bag of these treats. I think we have peppermint. These ones are apple. So we're going to use these, but we don't use them very quickly. Both of the boys just get really nippy and like super energetic when we start giving them these. This sponge, which we haven't used, it's Tiger's Ton Horse Groomer. So we're going to try that. And then there's this 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner Show Sheen. So shampoo always is great, especially since we have Flash with all of his white. It takes us forever to do baths. And then there's this Horseman's One Step leather cleaner and conditioner, which is what I'm going to attempt using here in a little bit. Lifts and removes dirt and sweat. So we're going to try that. We have some other stuff. We always like to try different things just to see how we like it, know if we want to buy more of it in the future. And then the other thing I want for High Point is, let's take this saddle cover off, because I won this saddle cover with Flash, which again is embroidered with my name and his name, and then 2021 Walk Trot High Point. So I'm gonna put that on his saddle right away, and I do need to clean this saddle, so it's gonna probably come off right away today at some point today. And I also need to switch the leathers on here so that I have leathers on here. Right now I have the Wintech ones on here. There we go. And it's right in the front there. So that is my new saddle cover. And then this other one, this red one that I took off of here, we got last year, 2 years ago, from a tax sale, out of like a free bucket or dollar bucket or something, which will end up on a different saddle. Probably the other all-purpose saddle or Flash's dressage saddle. And then Flash's girth here. I want to make a cover for this as well, but until then, it just kind of sits on top of the saddle. Excuse me. So otherwise, I think that is everything we have for today. I will be posting more videos about some stuff I haven't updated you guys on yet, even stuff back from a few months ago. So we will get everything updated then, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.